Knowing when you should repair or replace your garage door can save you thousands and the frustration. Welcome to the Garage Authority podcast powered by A1. I'm your host, Jonathan Phillips, and we have for the first time on the episode a guest that has returned for the third time because I'm taking advantage because he's a coach and he travels around the nation and it's hard to get this guy in. The one and only Tom Melendez has returned.
I'm here for it, man.
And I'm wearing, I think it's tradition anytime you come on, I'm going to wear this same shirt every single time. It's absolutely, dude, I'm so excited to have you on because we're getting into the passion of it. And there's a fork in the road conversation with the homeowner, whether it's their thought or a technician has come out. Is this worth repairing or is it time to replace the door? Mm-hmm. And that is a big spectrum line with a lot of emotions and a lot of experiences. But I feel like we have the guy that can get the brass tacks like, this is it.
Yeah, man. I didn't know this, but my first passion is teaching.
Yes.
So educating the customer is one thing that I just get really excited about. But I didn't know this until about 4 years ago, that sales is a very close second. And making people's lives better.
Yes.
You know, improving people's situation. And so when I get customers who ask me, should I repair or replace it? It's not always cut and dry. Mm-mm. But I start to think about what could be. You know, how can we improve somebody's life? If we're going to give the best product and the best service, let's go.
Right.
Like, let's get excited about this.
Yes.
You know, I want this to feel like you're buying a new car.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you love your car, we can fix it.
Yeah.
You know, but do you love your car?
Exactly.
You know? So, yeah, I get really excited about this kind of stuff.
And that's part of what leads me into the first question about it is whenever I ask you a question like, what's the tipping point for replacement? In my experience, I've had someone go from, I don't like the color, to I've done a repair whenever, a rotting wood door to where I've had to use punch angle and drill through the entire door with carriage bolts and fabricate, just that should not have been, but that's what they want. And I did it. So what is that tipping point for the general homeowner?
For the general homeowner, a lot of times it boils down to the necessities and thinking about it logistically and financially.
Yes.
What makes the most sense here? Because I would say about 90% of the encounters that we have that are not, hey, I just plowed through my garage door.
Yeah.
We can go ahead and fix it. But does that make sense? Do you love your door? Most of the time, the answer is it goes up and down.
Right.
It's a garage door. To me, that sounds like I'm not in love with this. I don't even really like it, but I need it to work. Okay, well, let's just discuss that for right now.
Right.
What do you need it to work for? Is this I strictly park in here because I'm coming to and from work and I'm the only one and, my wife and my husband works from home? Okay, that's a different situation than we use this like our front door.
Right.
But the reasoning's still the same. I still need it to work. Okay. Well, how long do you plan on living in this home? Out of here in a couple of years, or is this like I'm raising my kids here? No, I'm raising my kids here. Okay, so we have kids coming in and out. You use it frequently. You're going to be here a while. One of the things that I do when I coach techs is I coach them to never take options off the table or make decisions for customers. That is not the right thing to do. That's not ethical. When you're providing the best service, if we can do better, we should offer. But for customers, the tipping point is usually, okay, can I fix it? Yeah, certainly. But what we want to do is help them to see the whole picture so that we don't have them calling us back out going, hey, you fixed it, but now I'm having problems again.
See, that's my next question is like, we fixed it, we're coming back out. How do those costs of those repeat visits for just doing that Band-Aid fix here and there, like how does that add up that you've seen with clients?
Man, I don't know if you've seen what garage doors cost 2 years ago, what they cost 4 years ago, what they cost 10 years ago.
I have an idea, but they don't.
It is astronomical. Like, things always get more expensive as time goes on.
Naturally.
That's just what happens. That's natural inflation, happens every year. It's part of the economy. When COVID hit, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And honestly, things haven't really slowed down all that much in the last few years. They've slowed a little. But one of the things that and this is not an easy conversation to have, but it's the reality, is what makes more sense and for your financial situation. Should we spend what we're going to spend and invest in repair, knowing that down the road you're going to have to replace this anyway? And today's prices are not tomorrow's prices. So do we want to do that? Spend twice and exponentially more? Or do we want to set you up for success right away and save you the money in the long run? And that's really the hump that is hard to get over, but it makes the most sense because, yeah, you got to rip the Band-Aid off. But what does it feel like when you slowly pull that Band-Aid off? Like, that's just pain for a long period of time that's not necessary.
My biggest heartache whenever, back in my day when I was in the field, so old in this industry, my goodness, is I would give a quote for a repair or a new door, and it's, got a promotion coming up, got, taxes, or I'm going to start a new job. Especially around COVID, people would come back. Yeah. I'm telling you, a door that I had for $2,000, $3,000, and then they came back 6 months later. And trust me, I don't want to make doors astronomical prices just for the fun of it. Right. We had it at here. The manufacturers go up a percentage. We went up with that percentage to where it's the same for, like, it's not like we made a lot more money.
Yeah.
It was just so we didn't have to go negative to provide you a door. And the look on their face, because I tried my best and I feel I built trust. And for me to come back and now that door's $6,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're okay with paying double a few years down the line for the exact same product, that's why whenever it comes to a Band-Aid, like if you're even thinking about it, now's the time. Every single time.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that, we see it because we're in the industry. Right? Even something as simple as replacing springs. And then you wait. And now the thing that I think is most troubling to me, and I don't want this for any of my clients, is I don't want them to wait till it's physically broken, door is a wall, hopefully not thrown off track. And now they're forced into this situation.
Yeah. So there's no options now.
This is the whole, I got a flat tire. Even though my mechanic told me to change my tire, I got a flat tire on the side of the road, midnight in a bad area. That's when flat tires happen, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with, when things fail. And the longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be.
In your technical opinion,
okay,
since you get to travel across the nation and see doors in every single facet,
yes,
what safety risks push you more towards the replacement side? Like what hard line, like if the door's doing this, I really need to look at replacing it. The Band-Aid fix isn't going to do it.
Whenever you start losing structural integrity, I talk a lot about how non-insulated doors, pan doors, are a lot like an empty soda can or a paper clip. And every time, and let's be real here, most people don't maintain their doors. So if they're not being lifted properly, that pressure's got to be compensated somewhere else. Now, typically the door should be lifted from the ends by the cables.
Right.
When that doesn't happen properly, that opener compensates and pulls from this little pinch point at the top panel. What that does is every time your door goes up and down, is pushed down, pulled up, pushed down, pulled up. It's doing this.
Yeah.
That's when we start to see fractures.
Yes.
And fractures in your door spread a lot like a virus. But a virus can be cured, treated, whatever. There is a point, though, with a garage door where there's no turning back. And that's when customers feel like I'm pushed into this, but it's real.
Right.
We've seen doors come off track. This really sweet elderly couple out in the West Valley called me up because they wanted to tune up just to maintain the door.
Yeah.
So I hit the button. We watched the door go up, and as soon as the second or third panel came over that radius, boom.
Yeah.
And we had to have a tough conversation.
Yeah.
That was definitely a tipping point, literally and figuratively, where I'm like, look, I can fix this, but I'm not going to be able to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And you guys, I want you to be safe.
The hardest part that I don't understand, especially with, we're friends with a lot of garage door companies, so we have a lot of debates technically, and I enjoy that. It's a lot of fun. And I remember being in a room talking about those cracked panels, and these are guys that have been doing this 30 years where, in certain aspects of certain commercial doors and dock levelers and real big boy stuff, like I really look up to these guys. And in the commercial space, not the homeowner spaces, a lot of it is repair because it's a dock door and it's going to have someone hit it with a forklift, so they don't want to buy a new door every time.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how struts can just fix everything. And I'm like, okay, for sure. Listen, man, a strut is braced to the structural integrity of the door. So whenever you put a strut on something, it's helping slow the virus down.
That's a great way to
It's
explain
not
that.
curing it, but the actual structure that it's attached to, if that's flexing, like I said, it's slowing it down, but what you've attached it to, it's a 50-50 thing. Struts work before cracks, not after.
Yes.
It's helping you Band-Aid in the meantime until we can come up with a permanent solution, which is most of the time panel swap and or new entire door. It just makes no sense to me.
Yeah. And I mean, what's your peace of mind worth?
Right.
Because anybody who tell you, and I don't mean this to come off as like I'm higher than, but anybody who tells you that, hey, you've got some cracking in your door, we've got some weak spots, we're going to put a strut on there, and in totality say that this is the cure-all. It's just not. It's just not. And, you think about, like, I remember when I was a teenager, and I had that really awful Dodge Dynasty that disappeared in a cloud of, burning oil smoke. I knew I had leaky gaskets. I knew I had all these things wrong with it, but I found something really cheap that in my mind cured all, and that was additives. Hey, if I put this in here, it'll plug those gasket leaks. If I put this in here, it's going to reduce the smoke. But what ended up happening to that car anyway? Threw two rods.
Blows up every time.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Struts are great. They do work. I don't have any lack of faith in their ability in the interim to solve the problem, but they're definitely not permanent.
I would definitely, any repair that you do, what's going to be the longest fix for that home that you're raising the kids in? Okay.
Absolutely.
If you're getting out of the house 2 months and you're like, this just isn't passing inspection, I get it.
Yeah.
We'll do a little Band-Aid fix. We got to take some notes down because, we got to take some notes down.
Right.
But it's just have a conversation and, like you were saying, logistically, financially, and the future goals of that home that you're living in. These are the things that you need to consider. Now, just switching it completely, are there any design style reasons to upgrade?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I have literally seen a very basic looking home transform completely. We have older neighborhoods here in Phoenix that were built in like the 60s. We have a lot of new neighborhoods that have been built in the last 20 years.
Right.
And not all of these neighborhoods you're able to play around too much with it.
Right.
You're limited to short, long panel design. Maybe you can do some windows. Maybe you can do some different colors. But even something as subtle as windows and color really changes things. If you've got trim on your windows, you've got a certain door color, like your front door, and we can match that, I mean, that makes a big difference. But here's my thing. A lot of the neighborhoods out here that don't have HOAs give you a lot of wiggle room. The most common thing that I run into when talking about new doors is, hey, let me just get the same design. And I think to myself, why? Look at this neighborhood. Look at your scenery. Look at your house. You can turn a house into a castle.
Yes.
Literally, by just changing the door. And it's one of those things that is exciting for me, but that's being selfish. I really want the customer to be excited for it. You know, like when they see these designs and they're like, wait, I can put this on my house? Yeah. And then all of a sudden it becomes like, you know, you're buying a new car.
Yes.
It's very fun.
I do have moments that I do absolutely talk in absolutes. That was a very fun sentence to get out of my mouth. The thing about repair versus replace is certain repairs are going to give you peace of mind while you're in the home. It's not going to do anything for you when you sell the home or when you leave, though, which is fine. The replace, that is something that when you sell that home where you're going to get your money back. Repair, that's just the money. That just is what it is. Not a lot of, I don't know very many companies that transfer a warranty to a new homeowner on garage door parts. Mm-hmm. The only way you'll actually get your money back is if you replace the door. Yeah. So this goes for everybody because it doesn't matter if it's like, some people don't have garage doors that you can see from the street. Cool. Right. When you sell the home, you still get that ROI.
Yep.
Because it's a brand new door. So it doesn't matter how your home's layout is, this or that. For everybody, every single time, do you just want to put money into that repair or do you want to get that money back? Always, every single time, 268%, study shown. All right. Even if you go to a different study, garage doors number one, every single time.
Absolutely. You know, I heard about that and I went to several different platforms to research that. You know, so I found the whole 194% ROI. Then I found, and I couldn't believe it, it's gotten up to about 260%.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Up there.
It's insane. If I replace my roof, it doesn't go as high.
I feel silly telling people that.
It does feel
I know the research. I've gone to the manufacturers. I've looked at the studies. I still feel like I'm somehow lying when I say it because it's such a ridiculous number.
It's so funny because the ROI is so high. But when you compare it to most, if not all, other major remodels in your home, we're talking about going and putting tile down, cabinets, your bathroom. This is pennies compared to what they charge.
Yes.
Particularly like a roof.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. I'm so scared to have a leak in my roof. I'm not nearly as afraid as if I were to back into my door. Like, it'll hurt, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But man, everything else about being a homeowner really sucks.
Yes. Now, thinking of the long-term homeowner, when we're focused on the repair versus replace, we're garage door guys. I'm going to tell you that if you're thinking about it, replace the door. Yeah. But something that people don't really consider outside of ROI or price, whatever their lifestyle is how much do you consider warranties whenever we're at this fork in the road of repair versus replace?
Oh, man. It goes back to the peace of mind. So I'm gonna share a story of a really nice woman, lovely. I mean, she barely spends any time here in the Valley. She actually lives up in Seattle. Kept in contact with her for a long time. I actually went up into Washington State. We were trying to meet up to get coffee. And she had 4 doors, all wood overlays. And I talked to her about that whole like repair versus replace. And I said, you know, your doors are gorgeous, but they're wood and they're starting to warp. And she didn't like how loud they were.
Right.
She didn't like how loud her openers were. So long story short, I end up doing overhauls. I'm basically rebuilding her door and replacing her openers. Let me tell you, I earned that job that day. And so we did a lot of repair. And I did have that conversation with her about, if anything messes with this door, these panels risk of coming unglued, coming apart. I mean, the weather's just gotten to them.
Yeah.
So less than a year later.
My nightmare.
Yeah.
My nightmare.
It had a little help by getting hit.
Fair.
Okay. But it was that next year, later that year in the summertime. Because I remember I was very cold when I first met her. Looked at the door. It had damage. I was like, look, this isn't repairable.
Yeah.
Not unless you want me to put a bunch of ugly screws through it. Okay. And we don't do that anyway. So she's like, well, can you also take a look at the rest of these? Because they're getting loud again. More separation, more warping. Now, she went ahead and moved forward with 4 new custom doors that are all made out of steel.
Nice.
Gorgeous. Still have the pictures on my phone. She was happy with me when I did my work and got her doors functioning properly. The night and day difference in her excitement and how much she loved the new look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really what it's all about right there for me is whether I'm repairing your door, whether we're replacing it, it's that satisfaction of like, I'm taken care of. And the thing that really makes me feel good is that when we do doors, our warranties, how we stand by our product is even better than our service. And our service is really good. So having that feeling of like, I not only took care of this person's problem, I catered to their needs, but also their wants, and we're going to stand by it. Like they have a company for life.
Yeah.
That's something that I take a lot of pride in.
Jeremy Lamb was on, and the fact that you can get lifetime warranted parts, and then the fact that we're also going to come out for the next 10 years to service and maintain that door with tune-ups.
And we're going to be here.
Yes.
Not a lot of people can predict the future, but you look at the way that we go about our business, the way that we're growing. I have witnessed other companies throw lifetime, long-term warranties out there, and they're not around to answer the phone. In fact, do you know what the average lifespan of a smaller company is?
I think only 50% make it to 5 years.
Yeah. And that's being generous.
Yes.
Right?
I want to say it's actually like 2 to 3 years is something crazy.
Depending on your size, a lot of companies only make it about 24 months. And it fluctuates. But I will tell you that what I love about our warranties and the way that we stand behind our products is we're growing. We're not dying.
No.
Right? So suffice to say that we're going to be there.
Yeah.
If and when you ever need us.
Whether that company's been around since 1980 or just the fact, I mean, I think we just crossed like 1,000 employees. But we're not going to disappear.
No.
Sorry.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think if this company somehow disappeared, it's because there's a lot bigger things going on in the world.
Like an asteroid hitting the
no
planet
big
or
deal.
something like that. Yeah, casual.
Brother, thank you so much for coming on. We've gone over a lot today. Really just homeowners planning and having a real conversation on is the repair the best option for me, logistically, financially, plans and goals for the home. You know, a couple stories about how that can go good or bad. You can make out like a bandit with a tune-up sometimes and get real lucky. You make out right 100% of the time with a replacement. But is there any message that you can help any homeowner that's looking for more information on this or maybe a final thought?
Well, I think the big message is, you know, what is your goal? What is your goal for your garage, the time that you're going to be in the home, and then whatever you decide to do, you know, is that solution conducive to your goal?
Right.
So if we're talking about, you know, somebody who's going to be in the home long term, you know, is doing the little Band-Aid repair or even a more substantial repair really going to work out for you in the long run? Like, what makes the best sense for your goal?
Right.
And I think that right there leads them to a better choice.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. Pros and cons list. Every time. Know the risks. Brother, thank you so much. I'm very sad that you have to leave me and go traveling again, but please, please, please come visit us again when you come back, okay?
I'll be here anytime you want to have me on. I'm ready for it.